Under the Seed Desk, I'm Marijuana Man. This is show number 896 in a series of 14. As it turns out, yeah, we're.
No, it isn't.
People
96.
said.
People
Told us to stop at 15.
Fuck, why the fuck does no one tell me anything?
We just did.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that would maybe answer itself. Joining me at the desk is down at the far end, not in between, but on the far end is Al the Alchemist.
What's happening?
We're glad he could be in the house. Dragged himself from the beaches, down on the beaches today to be with us.
I've been on the beach quite a bit because that's
That's
what
a
I
good-
like to do when it's sunny out. And
good
there's
place to be.
At least 9 of them in Vancouver. There's like at least 9 of them in Vancouver.
So that's an odd number. And joining us in between is Kush Queen.
Hola, hola.
7's an odd
Straight.
number.
It is.
It's like, is it an L upside down? What is this thing? What's going on here? It's like,
One of the oddest numbers, I think.
yeah.
Well, other than 999. That's as odd as it gets. So yeah, we're here Wednesday.
Lost.
That's all right.
Lost.
Lost on a Wednesday.
Well, ain't that the truth? Today's the title of today's show is Legalization is Coming. Don't slip on the drool.
Slip on the drool. That's funny.
It's actually funny on 4 levels.
there's a few levels that there's
Few levels
there's some
it can be
enhanced comedy
it can be funny
going
on.
there.
We've got Jeremiah
Hi,
walking
Jeremiah.
past the camera. Hubbub in the other room. So yeah, here it is, another Wednesday, the 11th. How many Wednesdays the 11th have there been? Quick. Lost. Lost. I don't care.
Do I look like I give a shit? Just kidding.
So if I'm not looking directly at Kush Queen, maybe somebody give me a high sign when she cares. Hey? anything comes along that she cares about. So here's something. Kush Queen was in the news.
I was?
Well, she cares about that now.
Aha.
She's right
I was?
fucking back
There's
to
your
it.
sign.
Nice.
I was on the news? Just kidding.
Little old me.
Who, me?
This one's for fallen comrades.
Here in Vancouver, one of the activists
peace, brother.
in our group has passed away. Jim, not too sure of Jim's last name, but
Harrison, wasn't it?
he was. We always knew him certainly.
Jim Weeds.
Jim Weeds.
Jimmy.
Yeah, and so
Rest in sweet, sweet paradise, my love.
we honor his spirit and.
If you don't know Jim, Jim was like he was like a cannabis renegade.
Yeah,
That's the way to describe him.
Absolutely.
He would smuggle weed into the hospitals and like deliver them to people's rooms and shit. And their doctors were like, "Fuck, you can't smoke weed," and be like, "Fuck you, they're smoking my weed." Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cops had charges against him up until the week before.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Again.
yeah,
For
one
you,
of the
brother.
he was out there
Totally.
and did a fair bit for the movement. That's for sure. So.
Rest in pot.
Yeah, man. So things are going along fast and furious here in old Vancouver. The legalization war is heating up. We went from the prohibition war to the legalization war overnight. They decided
It just
to.
changed names.
Yeah.
It's still the same war.
It's still the same war.
Now. Buds is here moving the camera. Oh.
Bud's like, no, we gotta angle this a little.
Yeah. The cat's in the house.
We love buds.
Now, I don't know. This morning I got up and I was writing stuff on comments and different stories out there in the world. And, this business about no activists being brought to the table here to help shape the coming policy is, I don't know, fucked. Like, really? Like, what the fuck kind of decision is that for these policy makers to make when you think about it? Here we have been our whole lives, some of us, fighting against these laws that we found were unjust and doing more damage than the substance itself. So now that the government and most of the population actually agree with that point of view, they go, well, you don't get to play, though, you marijuana activists.
Yeah.
Right?
Lads, you are just
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well, I'm willing to leave it
no, we're
where
going
he
a little
places
Art
it.
Nouveau today.
He's already indicated
Just
it,
all sit like
he
this.
wants it a certain way. But so here you are shaping a policy. Now you would have to think the people who involved in the marijuana industry, if you will, might well be the experts in the field, since nobody else seems to know anything about it. You would think that those very actives who were right all along. This is the thing. The people who've been out here
But you
fighting
know,
for this are
In the
correct.
eyes of the government, even though they were right, there's still scofflaws. And you can't have
that's-
scofflaws part
yeah,
of the
I-
decision making.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'd like to fucking hack out the eyes of the government. Like, really, though, in reality, what the fuck? Like, what,
Oh, I firmly agree. I totally agree.
Like, how could they not want their input?
But we have to
Well, hang
understand
Hang
the
on a second.
stupidity and the idiocy of the ilk that we're dealing with. Just saying, right? So from their snobbery, it's like they're
But-
just a bunch of people that didn't have respect for government laws.
yeah, but this is what we had to do.
Even
this is what
though they're taking our lead.
This is this is what it has taken to change this stupid law, right? This is very evident of what it's taken to change this law is for people to continually use the substance, break the law.
Yeah, totally. That's it.
More and more and more openly break the law. We are the people who risked our lives and liberty to help protect their children more. We saw that the children weren't being protected at all under prohibition. Regulation and some sort of control is far better. But no, activists don't get to play along. Now they've singled out a group of people here in Canada who are fucking Canadian citizens, for God's sakes. You can't do that. What if they said, oh, no gay people can be on the board? No Syrian refugee can be on the board. Oh, no fat people. No, they can't be on the board. The fucking world would go nuts if they said that. But no, they said no marijuana activists can be on the board. Like, really? What the fuck is that? This cannot be constitutional at all, I don't think.
Well, the absurdity is it's
Like, you can't
it's-
single us out and
It's
go,
the
no.
lead of the activists that they're following to appease society. So it only makes sense. That's
Well, it's not our fault that you fucking made
just more proof that
marijuana
politics
illegal.
Is a failed structure.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like, that's why I don't vote. I don't support it. I don't even doesn't. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that I ran across. I don't know, in the morning I see these fucking commercials for Tide pods, those cleaning pods. And in big letters in the bottom, bigger than even a beer warning, it says, keep out of the reach of children. And it stays on there for the entire ad. I'm going, what's going on with this? So I looked it up, and holy fuck. Holy fuck.
Tide will kill your kids.
This all started in February 2012 when Procter & Gamble introduced these vile little fucking things. By May of that year, people were crying out that this was hurting kids and too many of them are eating these things. And there was a story in the Canadian press about it, using only numbers from America, but they were talking about 1,000 kids had been sent to the hospital. So Health Canada said, oh, this is bad. We haven't heard too much here yet. They didn't have any numbers for us, but they said, we're going to look into it and make sure the packaging's good and warn parents not to let their kids eat their fucking little pods. So, 10,000 kids in the hospital in the U.S. Let's leap ahead 4 years to April of 2016. Same fucking story in the paper. You know how many kids are in the hospital now? 10,000 a year. 62,000 fucking admittance to the hospital in 2 years in the States. Kids eating these pods, right? Another Canadian publication I was reading, and it fucking didn't. Health Canada has no numbers for me whatsoever of what's going on in Canada. They have no fucking clue. They then diverted it to a study they did of 54 people who were children that were hospitalized instead of the thousands that are. Like, it's fucked up. And here, there's
Somewhere in that study, there should be a ratio of what those 54 people represent, though.
Well, yeah, but the point is that they have
find out how many thousands.
Well, yeah, they don't. Canada doesn't keep numbers nationally on these kinds of things. Health Canada did absolutely nothing in 4 fucking years to avert this. Now, this latest study that was released here, he said, no matter what you people have been thinking you're doing, he said there's still 10,000 kids going to the hospital every year in the U.S. because of this, right? Now, the solution for it is to fucking warn parents to lock your pods up high and have the poison control telephone number handy. You go, really?
Instead of just
That's
discontinuing selling those
kind of
toxic
encouraging, though.
things.
Let's just reflect on that. So they're basically saying that every household that has these pods should sit down, get really stoned, and hide them.
And hide them, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Shouldn't even be fucking
get high,
10,000.
lock them up when you're high.
10,000 people have been admitted to the hospital. Children have been admitted to the hospital,
How many
and they're
adults?
still there selling
What
them
about the
in,
adults?
in stores, right?
Yes, exactly the same. You know why
Just
they...
making sure I heard all of that.
How many children a
correct.
year are admitted from Flintstones vitamins?
Joke, no kidding.
A bunch, too.
Jesus
An awful
Christ.
lot as well. So here's my point. You know, like, really, you fucks that are whining about the dangers to youth over marijuana are not showing me that you're very responsible about the dangers to our youth over other things. In this report, they said, this ain't your mother's detergent. This stuff's way stronger. It sounds just like weed, eh? It's way stronger and has chemicals in it that are bad. They didn't tell me what chemicals these were. And I thought to myself, well, you know, you people out there are using these things. They have been warned. It does say keep out of the reach of children. Apparently, nobody's fucking listening to that. There's no child-proof lid on the thing. Like, what the fuck? And whatever vile shit is in here is being washed down the drain every day. Where's that going? Right?
Maybe harmful to fish.
If it's harming children, what the fuck's going on here?
What's it doing to Mother Nature?
Health Canada doesn't do anything. So I'm not sure why we should listen to anything that they come up with about anything.
I don't think we should.
Really?
I think we
What
should
do you think,
just,
Al?
I think well this I,
You wanna
I
listen
think
to
that
them
we should regress as cannabis activists and just disappear and push for not even push. Don't even push for a blind eye policy. That's what I think we should do. But I think a
Well.
blind eye policy should be adopted above legalization or decriminalization or
First
all
Al
of this stuff.
was reflect.
Just forget that we even grow weed. Forget about it. Just don't even. Just forget it. Let's just
First Al
do over.
said-
Let's have a do over.
First Al was reflecting over here,
Yeah.
and then we went to regressing. We should regress.
After we
Right.
reflect, we must regress.
Yes, and
And
then
if-
then a blind eye attitude.
Yes. Should be adopted. Happy 420
Hey, 420. Welcome
for the second time
Finally.
today. You guys are late. I already did that this morning.
Yeah, where were you guys at 420?
Happy afternoon 420 for all you latecomers.
Well, we do appreciate you all tuning in here during your work during your busy day here at 4 o'clock and
all you bank
join
executives
us. You guys stop working at your
tuning
desks.
into our show.
And,
We want to
know-
thank all of the business owners who shut their businesses down so their staff can sit and watch our show.
Yeah, so many cards and letters we receive about that.
The firms on Wall Street, we really
Yes.
want to give a shout out to
Ford
you guys.
Motor Company.
Ford,
Thanks
thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
It means a lot pulling all of your sales service off the floor and like, hey, you guys got to watch the show for the hour.
We appreciate the cars you sent us too. Now, it's got nothing to do with our decision to never drive a Chevy again. I wouldn't.
I'm actually not happy with the Ford they sent me because I specifically ordered a Suzuki Scion.
Huh.
But they sent me a Ford. Go figure, Ford.
Go figure.
Figure Ford.
You can't. You can never count on your benefactors. So here is a big thing. Speaking of automobiles,
Mine's bigger.
yeah, I want to bet the.
Oh my lord!
Sorry.
Al's blushing even.
Wow. Things that get said on this show.
Al smells really good today, like really good.
Yeah, don't try.
There's some weeks.
No,
where
don't
he
try to
comes in
change the subject.
And he just smells so good.
Holy fuck.
But
Anyways,
I regress.
Well, let's reflect on that.
Yes. we could turn a blind eye to the stories I've prepared.
I think we have a do-over and just forget about everything that's just happened.
Yeah.
no kidding.
So she said, "Mine's bigger," and I said, "What?" I thought you wanted to reflect.
No, that would be the do-over. Yeah, but that's
Okay.
where
Thought we were all on the same page. You over.
So, yeah, some of us have different pages today. So we were talking about automobiles, and yesterday, the American Automobile Association, the biggest and most prominent automobile association, because they have like an A in front of their name, they did a study, and they're ripping apart the notion of impaired driving on marijuana. The headline that said there is no clear way to measure marijuana impairment says motorists are being convicted of driving under the influence of marijuana based on arbitrary state standards that have no connection to whether the driver has actually been impaired.
Wow.
Right? There is an understandably strong desire by both lawmakers and the public to create legal limits for marijuana impairment in the same manner we do alcohol. In the case of marijuana, this approach is flawed and not supported by scientific research. Huh. Now, in my search around the internet for marijuana stories, for your very pleasure, not mine, this story was everywhere, right? And it depended on who decided about the story as to the slant that they took about it, right? One of the headlines would say something like, setting DUI limits for marijuana won't work. Science basis for laws on marijuana driving questioned. Marijuana-linked traffic fatalities on the rise. That was the headline. See, here in the study, they found, and the study revealed that more people than ever had tested positive for marijuana in their system. And that was part of the point that they were trying to make in the article, was that those people just showing marijuana in your system doesn't mean they're impaired, and they're being wrongly persecuted as a result. So idiots out there in the world twist that around to say, that there's more. Well, here's the headline that came out of Utah. fatal car crashes involving marijuana up in Utah. In fact, they said that they're skyrocketing in Utah, right? Because more people than ever are testing positive for marijuana. But the article didn't say that at all. They said the whole fucking notion of impairment through marijuana has not yet been proven. Right? Bless you. Kush Queen, many of you don't know, is allergic to things that have not yet been proven.
It's true.
Absolutely.
Totally true.
Whew, sorry about that. I knew that was coming after you said that.
Yes. We saved her soul from escaping too. Guaranteed.
We don't really want to get on like Santa Claus or any of that stuff.
Don't even.
No.
Hobbits.
So it depends on what you read, you know, and where you are and how these things are interpreted, because none of these studies, most of this shit that comes out is non-conclusive really around marijuana, because it's just conjecture and fucking going might suggest and could possibly be that the example there is in all the headlines. What the fuck's going on in the world here? Who do you believe anymore about anything? I don't read their other stories, but what the fuck is that headline about if this one can be so false and twisted? Though all the other ones can be that false and twisted and probably are. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's fucked.
No, that's
What's
fucked.
It's a
what's
new
fucked?
segment, huh?
What's fucked?
That is for sure. Now here's another thing that's both fucked and great, if that can possibly be. What a segue that
Fucked
was.
and great.
And great at the same time. And it takes place in Victoria, British Columbia. Now, Victoria, they of course had an explosion. It's skyrocketing in Victoria, the opening of new dispensaries. So,
Skyrocketing? Is that like the new
Skyrocketing,
thing that
yeah.
they like to say on there?
well, that's in Utah.
Yeah.
Nothing actually happens in Utah, so fucking anything.
anything
anything happening there is
Skyrocketing,
Well,
like-
they haven't even seen a skyrocket.
yeah.
I know. Like, do they even know what that means?
No, they don't.
Okay, continue,
They
sorry.
don't allow fun things like
I
skyrockets.
know, right?
So Victoria is now
Skydiving.
Water
Victoria
rocketing.
Victoria City Council, like
torpedo.
Vancouver, is now attempting to rein this all in, if you will, and creating their regulations. But they,
They're only 200 meters.
yes, one of the regulations is 200 meters. But here's the thing. Seniors in Victoria support council's push to adopt a bylaw that allows edible products
Fucking
in
right.
medical
Seniors
marijuana.
don't want to smoke weed. They
No.
want their tea and crumpets.
That's right.
Totally. Especially in Victoria.
Victoria Council voted in favor of preparing a medical marijuana business bylaw that permits the sale of edible pot products.
And a lot of seniors, they can, make some bank off of.
The city council members said that many seniors who spoke at the public meeting in favor of edible pot sales convinced them to buck what Vancouver's doing, which prohibits the sale of edible products. Our staff and council were compelled, they said. We heard loud and clear from many people who came to the town hall we had, particularly from seniors and particularly from senior women, that they have chronic pain and they don't want to smoke marijuana. They want access to edibles. Huh.
Well, yeah.
Now that's wonderful. Now
Who are
that's
you to tell anybody that they can or cannot smoke, or that they can or cannot eat edibles, whether they're old or not? Not everybody wants to smoke.
so. Why it's both wonderful and fucked at the same time is that it's wonderful that the seniors are able to get their edibles there in Victoria. It's fucked that Vancouver City Council didn't listen to anybody who came to their town hall. Not one thing did they adopt that anybody wanted here in Vancouver. In Victoria, they go head over heels for their seniors. How many fucking seniors showed up to City Hall? And who gives a shit? You can push a grandmother over. Like, you're not threatened by them at all. They're weak. Old people. But when we went to City Hall here, vibrant young people with many years ahead of us, they said, fuck you. Get out of here. We don't care what you want. They didn't adopt one thing that one Vancouverites asked for here in the whole mix. Huh. Interesting how different it can be from one jurisdiction to the next.
Yet it doesn't surprise me.
Gregor Robertson
Isn't
and
that
his
sad?
gang of thieves, methinks. Now, Toronto, they're all wrestling about it too. Toronto mayor dropped in on a weed dispensary. He said, "It's not acceptable." That was his response. It's not acceptable. I don't know what it was. It wasn't acceptable to him. He didn't really mention that. The Toronto mayor says local officials may be forced to crack down on the growing number of marijuana dispensaries popping up. Mayor Tory made a surprise visit to a dispensary. Was it a surprise to him or to the dispensary, do you think? Did he not know he was going? He doesn't know any. Maybe not.
The secretary is just like, get it.
He's like, I want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
We don't serve cheeseburgers. That's unacceptable.
He said, it's not acceptable. I do accept. And then he says,
It's not acceptable, but I do accept.
Yeah. He says, it's not acceptable. I do accept the fact and endorse that fact. We're changing the law. But I've said all along that it has to be done in an orderly fashion. What is he, an old fucking aunt of yours or something?
No, he just wants dispensaries to be single file.
Is he your grade 4 teacher? Oh, it's got to be in an orderly fashion.
Yeah.
Everybody line up. I'm like, fuck off. Like, really? This guy, I looked him up. He is from fucking one privileged white family, if you can fucking believe that. Has every advantage and has so his entire life. He is a full-blooded conservative fuckstick is what this guy is, really. Friend of the cops. The very first thing he did when he became mayor was to rescind the rule on carding. The racist practice of police carding people. Bill Blair actually put that out of business. And then this guy came in and overturned it as soon as he became mayor. Said it was okay until pressures forced him, kicking and screaming, to change it. And he said he was kicking and screaming, really. Like, this guy's nasty.
Pure Kush.
So, here's who you've got, you know. He says, we can't just sit back and have nobody take any action. So we'll have to if somebody else doesn't. Right? And then he says, it's the Wild West out there. Like, really? Did
I
John?
think it's hilarious when anybody says that.
John?
Like, really? Do you really even know what the Wild West was like? Like, it's the
I-
Wild West out there. Like,
I just think it's funny.
okay.
It's funny coming from Toronto.
I know.
Yeah. He doesn't even know where he is.
I know.
You're in the East, John.
Wow.
Right. Unless you're from New
He
Brunswick,
might be from New Brunswick.
which is a secret province. I should
Doesn't
look
even
it up.
exist. New
From the
Brunswick
secret
technically doesn't
province.
exist.
He's actually from Old Brunswick. Nobody knows. It's the Wild West out there. Here's what the Wild West was really like, because we're here in the West, and at a time when the white people were stealing it from the natives, the first white people, one of the most prominent people out here in Vancouver was a guy named Gassy Jack, who came here and he said, if you build me a bar, I will sell you booze. And he did, and became very successful here in the city, so successful that an area of our city is called Gastown in his honor. That's what the Wild West is. That's exactly what the fuck it is. He didn't have a license. Nobody gave him permission. Nobody said fuck all. This kind of stuff didn't come along until the industry grew into something that it was, and the government would say, hey, let us come in and help you work this out. All right? They don't fucking shut it down, start from scratch, and then just fucking give all the money to their friends. That's what Bill Blair's doing right now, is fucking trying to figure out how to give all the money to his friends. People like Loblaws and Shoppers Drug Mart and the liquor stores are all interested in selling marijuana. And they accused us, the marijuana activists, of only being activists because it was a self-interest that we could then start selling marijuana. So as a penalty, as a fucking penalty, they're saying, no, I don't think you can sell marijuana. Or if you do, we're just going to penalize you. We're going to make you pay $30,000. We're going to have strict regulations. We're going to tell you where you can be and what time you can be open.
No, I found out how much
Right?
casinos have to pay a year.
Yes?
It's disgusting.
How much?
$1,100.
$1,100.
Do you know how
casino.
much millions and millions and millions of dollars, millions of dollars they
Millions.
fucking make,
Billions.
and they pay $1,100. It's like,
Oops.
it makes me feel sick.
No
I
penalties
just-
there.
Oh.
Wait, so
Nobody
the
has any problems with gambling ever.
No.
so Kerry Jang, he is the lead goon at City Hall. He's the one that's heading up all this prohibition nonsense that he's into. He said something that really disturbs me. He said, he was talking about the cannabis activists or cannabis culture. He said, I told them, you be careful what you wish for.
You be careful what you wish
So I thought about that statement. And I thought, wow, what an odd thing for an elected city official to say to me, that for some reason I should be careful about what I want from you, paid city official. Why does this come with some veiled warning? A warning about what? I should be careful what I wish for? Everybody wants this. Half the fucking population wants this. Your federal government has told you that they're going to go through with it. So I should be careful about what I wish for? From a fucking city councilor?
No, that's his human role. He's a genie.
He's what?
He's a genie. You didn't know that? It's true.
Yeah. He's a
Kerry Jang
genie.
is indeed a genie. And his human role is this counselor guy. And just let this thing
counselor
sleep. He gets
guy.
it confused sometimes. Oh, they should be careful what they wish for. It's like, oh, fuck, that's my genie line.
That's my genie line.
So, yeah.
You should be careful what you wish for 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, right. No, that's pretty fucked up,
never wish for
right? And
more
and what
wishes.
did we do to deserve that, Kerry? Like, really? Here Kerry is. He's lathering over the funding that's going to come to the public health concern that he wants to push that marijuana should be in. He himself is a professor at a university making money off the health profession, now wanting to push marijuana into the health profession as an addictive substance so he can get funding, he said out loud.
Sounds like
You
a
put
bunch
a
of
few
genie talk to
sentences
me.
together, so he's all excited about it, yet us activists should be careful what we wish for. And apparently he was warning us about him. He's warning us to be careful
never
because
careful.
I'm going to fuck you up. He's going to over-regulate, steal your shit, and
Well, I'm using my last wish for you to lose your genie powers.
yeah. Yeah, smash the fucking jar you live in. So, here's another psychologist. Jennifer Newman. She has a doctorate degree in counseling psychology, and it's all about the
Counseling psychologists.
Yeah, psychology in the workplace.
Because
It's all about.
psychologists, they go through a lot of shit and nobody's there to talk to them.
Yeah.
So
She's
she
also
stepped up to the plate.
teaches. She got her degree at UBC. Teaches at UBC. What? She's also on CBC Radio and writes for the Vancouver Sun. So she was interviewed about the ramifications of the coming legalization of marijuana on the workplace.
Wow. Do you see how
So, Now, I gotta tell you, I was dumbfounded at what I read. And pleasantly so. I've never read a more balanced fucking talk about marijuana in the workplace than I heard
Kind of like
coming out of the
Fonzie's talk with
mouth
Joni
of
last night on
yeah,
Netflix.
just like that. I went to bed thinking about that. That was weird. But
It's a great fucking talk, eh?
Jennifer Newman, this guy says to her, "Is there cause for alarm in Canadian workplaces if marijuana is legalized?" Jennifer says, "No, not really." Basically.
There you go.
She goes on to explain it. She says, "We're not going to see the return of smoking in offices, so to speak, but employers have been handling medical marijuana use already. It's being used for medical purposes, right? Employers accommodate users of medical marijuana just as they accommodate any other employee who's prescribed medication. And they balance the duty to accommodate the obligation to
duty.
maintain a safe workplace." Right? Now, like really, she came up with the most common sense stuff, said this is not a problem. People,
She basically said the truth.
yeah.
We've already been dealing with how to smoke while working, so there's not really going to be a difference.
Now she said, as with alcohol use, workers in the high-risk occupations or who operate heavy machinery may need to restrict cannabis use to be able to function safely. She didn't say that you should never, ever, ever use it. You may need to restrict the use to be able to operate safely. Being familiar with the effects of marijuana is important, and how those potential effects regulate or relate to the kind of work required is key. For example, is eating a marijuana cookie at lunch, like having a beer at noon, going to have an effect on how well a staff person does their job? What is the effect on co-workers or customers when a worker is using pot or having a drink during working hours? So very reasonable thinking. Like, it really comes down to, you should be able to use whatever you want as long as you're not a fucking asshole in the middle of it and not doing a good job and being unsafe. Like, it's all about that, not really what you've taken. Right? She said if job performance suffers, employers can intervene and colleagues can discuss feeling let down or frustrated if someone on the team isn't pulling their weight for whatever reason. Right?
Fair enough.
Like, wow, I thought that was very good. It went on and on, too. Her name was Jennifer Newman. So, pleasantly surprised by that bit of agreeing with me. Right? I actually passed over the story because of the headline. Ramifications of marijuana in the workplace. Julie Newman, and I thought, or Jennifer Newman. I passed it over quite a few times before I actually read it, and then went,
Fuck that.
wow. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be another one. Turns out there's people moving to the United States from all over the world so that they can get medical marijuana. Small group of people. International marijuana refugees.
You're seriously calling
International marijuana refugees.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, there is a war.
Yeah, well, true enough.
Yeah, I
They're
guess fair
escaping.
enough, but still, really.
Oh no,
It shouldn't be a war.
You think
We
there's
shouldn't be
there's
called marijuana
places there's
refugees.
places in the world
It's a joke.
where people will go to jail for life or even get
I
the
know,
death
it's
penalty
sad.
for having like
That's absolutely
that.
true.
that much weed you're gonna get killed for by your government. So yeah, for sure there's marijuana refugees.
Yeah, families are beginning to move to the United States so they can get marijuana, mostly for their children. Right, a family coming out of Ireland. People are also bringing kids to me from Germany, the Czech Republic. We've had them from all over. They said this guy in Oregon, pot is everywhere, but this medicine isn't. So that's why people travel. Huh. Huh.
Well, it's nice to see that
Wait,
Germany actually
pot?
stepped up to the
Did
plate.
it say pot is everywhere? Is that what you just said?
Pot
I
is
hear that.
everywhere.
It's not everywhere.
You said pot is everywhere, but
No.
medical marijuana isn't? Is that what you
But
said?
this medicine isn't. I'm not
Yeah.
too sure what he actually meant
Yeah,
by
what does
that.
I don't get it. Pot is
Sean,
everywhere, but this medicine.
he's a
isn't.
medical marijuana producer in Oregon. Ooh. Nah, well, notwithstanding what he said.
I don't really like that. 'cause,
No. No.
anyways.
International marijuana refugees. Yeah, well, that's interesting though. Like it's important enough for people to uproot themselves from halfway across the world to try and get it now. It's not like going down and waiting outside the 7-Eleven for, you know, the guy to come by.
Dude.
The dude with the
Freaking dude.
jean
Dude who tells you
jacket.
25 minutes, fucking an hour, and fucking
Yeah.
25 minutes later.
Well, that's what happened to the
And
international
then shows
marijuana.
up on his
Fuck.
cousin's BMX.
Yeah.
Tells he's got to go for a quick ride.
The international marijuana refugees, when they got here, that's what happened to them. They had to wait for several hours, and they got ripped off twice, and then
Yeah.
they finally got a little bit, and then they met a guy, and
Dude.
they were able to meet his guy, and now they're here.
Now they're here.
Yeah. Did you know that marijuana allergies can be triggered by using marijuana?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Who's the journalist that should be fired for writing that story?
I didn't take the time
And
to
who's the
even
editor that should be
find out.
fired for allowing that story to be run?
No. No. Allergic reactions to marijuana range from mild to life-threatening.
And they
Re-
may be caused by marijuana.
Research suggests. It suggests that. It actually didn't
Just like
suggest that.
anything, though.
It was a guy who was allergic to marijuana. So, peanuts will fucking kill a lot of
That's what I'm
people.
saying, like,
Come on.
So that's not my fault that he's allergic to
If you're
marijuana.
allergic
Like,
to
I'm very
peanuts.
unfortunate for that person, though. But, like, what?
If you're allergic to peanuts, you definitely shouldn't smoke marijuana processed in a facility where they process peanuts.
No, absolutely not.
No.
I agree with Al.
What?
I said if you're allergic to peanuts, you shouldn't smoke marijuana processed in a facility processed with peanuts.
Yeah.
Or a facility that processes peanuts.
Peanuts, you say?
That's right.
An interesting line.
You know, Mr. Peanut?
Oh,
Just saying, if you're allergic to peanuts.
Mr. Peanuts.
Mr. Peanut?
Yeah. That's where you guys get your weed, is at Mr. Peanuts.
No.
And you don't like to say Mr. Peanuts
What do
too
you-
fast.
What do you mean? I don't. Yeah, I don't get my weed from him.
It's a shell.
Don't even know that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god.
Oh, it cracks me up. Man. You fucking crack me up.
I'm lucky enough to not have any allergies. Well, I have one. I've been allergic to allergies my entire life.
Nice.
It gets quite complicated with the medication. But no, I'm lucky enough not to. But maybe people are. A lot of people are allergic, and that's probably because of I don't know what Tide fucking detergent pods
Yeah.
and
Tide pods, man.
Febreze and Lysol and all these disinfectants you've been slathering all over your homes to
Mr.
protect your kids. Now they're all allergic to shit they have no protection against.
Glade air fresheners.
Yeah. Don't let them go outside. Don't let them eat dirt. Let them eat dirt, I say. Those
Dirt's
kids.
actually good for you a
It
little bit.
is. Handfuls of dirt's what keeps you
Ew.
alive on this planet, for fuck's sakes.
For real, I knew this guy. He's a pretty interesting old dude. But he was telling me when he was a kid, they used to eat this red clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's probably not much more natural than
I used to play
the
with mud
earth
when I
that
was
you
a kid
walk
and
on.
make mud pies.
Red
and
clay,
play
red
house
clay
in
dirt,
mud
clay
and stuff,
dirt.
But I never ate it.
We'd be on our way to school. We'd stop. We'd get some of that clay dirt. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, we see clay dirt. I'm like, what the fuck are you
Clay
talking
dirt.
about? And he explained this
like
whole
that.
thing, and it's like, and it really made sense. A lot of diets back in the day, they didn't have all of the minerals that were needed, and clay has almost everything you need.
Yep.
And in certain forms, it's super absorbable and highly digestible.
Highly digestible.
Yeah.
Nice. No, the earth is good for us, actually. We just cover it over with shit that's not. Right? So
It's like a multivitamin.
it's yet another warning out there in the world. Now, here's something interesting that happened the other day. The surviving members of the Grateful Dead are out there on the road with John Mayer,
Wow.
and they're called Dead and Company. They actually could be called Not Dead and Company, but they chose to go with Dead. Yeah.
Grateful to be not dead.
They actually appeared on
The Grateful Mayor was another one that they
Grateful Mayor. Yeah.
they toyed around with.
They
John Dead.
performed on Jimmy Kimmel Live as if there's a Jimmy Kimmel that's taped.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Even when it's a rerun, it's still called Jimmy Kimmel Live. So I'm not too sure why it needs to be called that. But at any rate, it was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, whoever the fuck Jimmy Kimmel is. And they brought 300 marijuana activists with them, all with pro-marijuana T-shirts. In fact, they had a couple of giant marijuana joints there with them.
Wow.
The studio was filled with smoke as it went.
I love it.
Kimmel's cutting edge.
That is wicked.
No, he's not really. He's just doing what the
No.
producers are allowing.
That's exactly right. No, this
The
was
producers probably said, "Hey, can you maybe incorporate some sort of weed thing in with your show?" And he was like, "Yeah, I can." And he went home and he thought about it and went, "Hey, check this out!
yeah, get
Brilliant,
the
Jimmy. Brilliant. Let's do it."
get the Not Dead guys here. And no, it was actually brought together by the band. They said that they're mostly about the music, but they also have a message out there, and this is what they believe. They wanted to have commercials, I think, for marijuana-based company, but Disney owns Jimmy Kimmel, so they said, not gonna happen. An animatronic fucking President Lincoln showed up at his house and said, not gonna happen.
Smoking a hemp blunt.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Drop you off Magic Mountain, Jimmy.
Don't fuck with us, Jimmy.
Yeah. So, but interesting. They're, I don't know, rich guys, I guess, pushing the limits out there.
Push it to the limit.
Yeah. The,
That's crazy. Yeah, we'll play your show, but this is what we want to do.
yeah, rich musicians. Well,
Typical.
yeah, good for
Very
them.
typical.
Gets in the news, and who doesn't like the Dead?
Actually,
Huh?
I know,
Nobody said
I know
no.
quite a few people that
Yeah.
don't. But
I don't listen to them either.
I don't mind them.
Never have.
I've listened to a lot of hours of the Dead.
Yeah, they're too close to country for me.
But different.
Just, eh?
They're-
Different,
they're
yeah,
kind of like,
I know.
They're kind of like a cross between a cool breeze and a babbling creek.
Yeah, on a
Just
hot
saying.
day, putting you to sleep.
Yeah, there you go. A hot afternoon with
Laying
a
on
cool
the
breeze
side
and a
of it.
babbling creek, and that's what the Grateful Dead are.
Yeah. Make
A
you
music
fall
version of
asleep. Yeah.
I dig it.
Well,
I get it.
La, 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 da, da.
You got to
That's
think
it.
of where it all comes from in California. Like that's like the Cali sound, right? And in California, there was a radio show that happened, and this guy used to play tons of like bluegrass and all kinds of stuff, and it was like one of the first radio shows that had a lot of influence on musicians. And coincidentally, a lot of the bands that spawned out of the early psychedelic movement in California were huge fans of this radio show, and they all have like Quicksilver, Messenger Service. All of these bands have this similar airy, bluegrassy, country.
There was a
jammy
lot of them
sound.
at the time, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Graham Parsons and
Yeah, for sure, and that's really
Flying
it's like
Burrito
I wish I
Brothers.
could remember the name of the show and the guy, but it's like there's one dude that's really responsible for influencing all that.
You heard it here first, but not all of it.
No, you're gonna have to do some digging. Maybe I do.
You heard
remember.
part of it here first.
Maybe I know exactly the name of the guy in the show, and I'm just saying you got to just dig for it and find out that information for yourself. Or maybe I have no fucking clue. This could also be made up on the spot.
A lot of this show was and is that. Not complete information. We could have told you more about a lot of stuff, but we're hoping.
And we could have told you less about a lot of stuff.
I want to go camping
Doubt it.
and smoke a lot of weed
I want to go
and sit by the fire. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
456
Yeah, let's get out
on
of
the
here.
old Timatron.
Yeah, time.
On the old Timatron.
Oh,
What
the
about time? What do you got? What's going on
Hey,
with
look
time?
at there's fish in the box again.
Oh,
New
look.
fish.
Don't tap on the window, though. Hey.
Don't scare them off. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, if you want to go camping, I think these guys are breaking on some dabs.
Yeah, we should ask them if they want to go camping with you.
No, I don't want to go camping.
Not with
Yeah.
them. No. Just
You know,
I mean, like with friends.
we're
With
friends.
strangers.
Just
So,
fucking
yeah.
take your rip and come camping in here. What's the problem?
Okay.
don't forget to check us
Bring my
out
little
at
tent.
Vancouver Seed Bank. We're live downstairs. Like Jimmy Kimmel, we're live every day downstairs
Yeah.
from 10 till
Cannabis culture live.
till
Yep.
later, 10 till later in the day, 6 sometimes, 8 o'clock other times, 10 o'clock other times, no other times.
It's a hit or
That's
miss,
nice.
basically. Just show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the day, come on down.
Buy some fucking seeds.
Check us out online, vancouverseedbank.ca. Lots of pictures and descriptions of all the strains that we sell. Get your outdoor shit together. You can get in the ground still, get some nice weed growing out there for the summer. It's going to be hot and dry on the west coast.
Like a little bit of time to germinate and get in the ground.
It's like the Wild West out there. Remember that.
Yeah.
It is.
It
Dog
is.
owners,
Yeah.
don't leave your fucking dog in the car.
Herds of
Seriously.
undomesticated buffalo
the Mer-
stampeding through the prairies.
The mayor of Toronto.
Stampeding.
Yeah.
I always think of the Lion King when I hear that. I don't know why.
When the mayor of Toronto went into that dispensary, he said this like the Wild West. You go, really? Like Bonanza? Or,
Ponderosa.
one of the, you've walked into an old saloon or something back in the 1800s. Like, really?
Is it like an Abbott and Costello Wild West
Great
or a
photo
John
shoot
Wayne
idea.
Wild
I
West?
like that.
What are we talking here?
No, they're clueless, conservative knuckleheads. So
Wild Westerners.
I hope it's all going good for all you folks who tuned in today. Didn't see any chat. No
Sorry, we didn't see the
chattery.
No, we had no
chat.
chat
Hi,
available.
chatters.
We should put a big screen over there.
We should
That's
have
actually
a
That
chat
would be a
screen
good
right in front
chat
of us.
screen.
Absolutely. Good idea.
Yes.
Jared, wanna get on it.
Jeremy's will get us a chat screen.
Chat
This
screen.
is my new song. I wrote it just now.
And thanks to you folks for
got a
tuning in
chorus.
too. And do join us every week here. We try to be here as well. But
Sometimes we're pre-recorded, but
yeah, parts of the show have been pre-recorded.
Sometimes we're here and we're just showing a pre-recorded show.
and we're
Watching
all just
it.
hanging out, smoking, chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it is reruns.
Yeah.
Retro too. We like to do a lot of retro stuff. Jokes we've told before, stories we've talked about. Retro.
Retro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Broken record
The
style.
same stuff over and over again.
tune in for our Harper show
Retro.
next week.
Yeah.
No kidding, eh? Fuck Harper.
What do you got against harbors? All right. Well, our thoughts go out to those people in northern Alberta and Fort Mac and stuff too.
Yep.
Had their ships right
Tragedy,
down.
man.
Lots of
Yeah.
love.
If there's anything anybody can do to help, please do so. And I don't know. It's there's too many issues involved with stuff like that. But that will get cleared up later on. So I hope everybody stays safe, gets home, and gets a normal life again. So, yeah, keep it real. A lot of tornadoes in Tornado Alley, as they call it. Huh, oddly enough. Tornadoes in Tornado Alley. Big fucking monstrous ones, too. Holy moly.
It's a large alley.
Rip shit apart.
A large
It is.
alley.
Oklahoma. Man, oh man. People could just keep rebuilding. People just keep rebuilding, though.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just had to.
All right, did we kill enough time? We did.
That was perfect. Oklahoma.
As the wind comes whipping down the plane.
Yeah.
We performed that musical
Did
in
you
high
hear
school.
about, what's your fucking...
Ow.
Sorry. What's her face, Pam, sending out a letter to the government and BC Hydro. Shut off all the power to the dispensaries because they're illegally operating.
She
It's
said-
just-
she said,
what a fucking
yeah.
joke, Miss Pam.
She said
Fucking
medical
up your arse.
marijuana is quackery. That's
Named,
what she said.
named after an
Quackery.
aerosol spray.
Pam. Pam. Well, yeah, nothing sticks to Pam.
Pam, Pam, Pam.
Yeah, that's why people are sick.
She's such a fucking.
But anyway, keep working out
Baked
there.
in BC. Make sure you follow us on Instagram.
Yes, Baked in BC.
Thought I'd plug that in there.
Check
Any
that
other
out.
plugs?
Yeah. No. I'm out of plugs. I'm unplugged today.
Plug in your lamp.
Yeah.
Don't
All
plug
right.
in your lamp if you're not using it. Actually,
Unplug your
save the
lamps.
energy, yes.
Unplug your lamps. Plug in your lamp.
But we regress.
So let's
Bye.
reflect.
Yeah.
Let's reflect and say goodbye.
We're gonna
Let's get
reflect
the
on
hell
our
out of here.
regression.
We'll see
a
you all
blind
next
eye.
week. Thanks to Al for being here, bringing his wisdom, his artful comedic
His artful
craft.
dodgery.
His
And his
dodgery,
wonderful
that's
scent.
right.
That I got to smell like all day. It's just wonderful.
What about my beautiful
Thanks,
glowing tan?
Thanks to Kush Queen for being here and bringing her
My loveliness.
lovely
My two friends, which one is it?
wonderfulness. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Everything that you bring
Her
to the
stunning
table.
presence and amazing personality.
Yes, the presence she brings us.
Thanks for having me. I love being here.
And thanks to me for sitting this far over to the left, your right,
You are right.
because I'm left-handed. Here's a fucking weird.
I always stay in the middle, though.
Here's a weird thing that happened to me today. I learned how to tie my shoelaces.
Really?
For my whole fucking life. I hate this shit. I hate this world for parts of it because I'm left-handed. For some reason, I've always had the problem of when I tie my shoe up, it won't stay tied.
That's
No matter
because you're
what
tying it
fucking-
backwards.
But you're not
That's
tying
what
your-
I decided
So
this
you were
morning.
probably
Not
shown by a
doing it.
right-handed person how to tie your shoe.
I
But
don't
because
know.
you're left-handed, you got to do it reverse so the tension is proper.
Totally.
I don't know. So today, did it backwards. Huh. All this fucking time. Like, really? This is fucked.
You can tie your shoes.
Yeah.
How
I learned how to tie
exciting.
my shoes today. So.
Nice.
Ta-da. I'm wearing a cool shirt, too. This is
You are.
Sunset Beach. Commemorative pot or 420 T-shirt
Very
that Ozzy Scotty put together.
Beauty.
Yeah, first time I looked at it, I didn't realize these were marijuana leaves, and I thought, wow, what an odd thing. They didn't even commemorate 420 with the just palm trees there. It didn't. It was
so
many days later I realized.
Scotty did that?
He did.
Scotty,
Very nice, very
I
nice.
want one.
Get him at the Cannabis Culture headquarters. Probably get him online too. I would have to think. So come on down there too and visit everybody. A couple lounges to smoke in, and you can buy stuff to smoke in the house. And Cannabis Culture is also sporting a new dispensary. 512.
Yeah, over there.
512 Beatty Street. Yeah, right
right
over
there.
there. That's to your left.
Yeah, over there.
Turn around.
Just turn
look
around,
over
look
there.
that way, you'll see it.
If you walk straight that
Yeah.
way
Pretty
from
close.
here, find out where we are. Go straight from where we are now. over
Go
there.
to that directory and it'll have a little circle. It'll say you are here, and then just look over there.
So,
That's where it is.
City of Vancouver requires that dispensaries be 300 meters from each other. That's about 3 blocks. From here, from this very spot, there's 25 bars within this 300 meters of this place right here.
And how many
25
restaurants and how many
alcohol
coffee shops?
outlets.
I know, it's a joke.
25 within 3 blocks of here. You go, holy shit. You can only have 1 dispensary in that whole area. But you have 25 fucking booze outlets. Wow. And that's everywhere. That's all over the city. And it gets denser as you go into the areas where...
Where it gets denser.
Where it gets really
I'm
dense.
feeling my coffee right now, you guys. I gotta get
Okay.
up. I gotta go.
Well-
my meter's up. I'm just like,
Beep it down.
meter like going. I'm just like.
That's what she's meant. All these shows. My meter's up when she really just had to pee. All right.
It's
Get outta
5:06.
here. We'll see you next time. I'm Marijuana Man. Thanks for joining us. We had fun. And as always, peace and pot.